Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and greetings from Boston. I am so happy to be back in Boston. It's actually just in the run-up to Christmas. It's cold. London has made me soft. I used to live in Boston for almost 15 years and was just, you know, going out in like dresses and winter coats. Now I'm like wearing all the layers in Boston, but I'm here for a couple days on both ends of Christmas. So I'm gonna do one lovely vlog and let you know what I get up to. So I'm also on this leg of the journey staying at the Citizen M Hotel, and you can make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I will post a review of my stay, my room, everything. This is the Back Bay Hotel. And then on the second leg of the trip, I'm actually staying at two hotels, the Charlesmark and the Hilton at the airport. So we will have all the hotel situations, but yeah, just a little, this is behind me. This is the bed. I'm just kind of trying to stand closer to the light, even though it's gonna be dark soon. But yeah, so this morning I had a really lovely, woke up at like 7:30, went to Dunkin' to get some breakfast, did some work at the hotel, used the gym at the hotel, got myself ready to go for the day. And then I had a really lovely lunch at Trident, which is only like one block that way from the hotel. Although one gripe about Trident, I paid like $6 for a cappuccino. And honestly, their coffee there is never good. I don't know why I keep doing that to myself. It's like, you could just go to Dunkin' and for half the price, get like double the amount of coffee and have it be so much better. But I did have this like smoked turkey sandwich with microgreens and avocado and bacon and like sriracha mayo. And that was good. And it comes with like a whole plate of potato chips as well, which I definitely didn't need. But I had a few, you know, as you do. And now I've just been doing a little Christmas shopping. I bought Trident, which is a cafe and also a bookstore, has some really cute gift items. So I picked up some stuff there for Christmas gifts. Then I just stopped at TJ Maxx on the way back to the hotel, which is literally across the street from the hotel, to get a couple other little things. And now I'm just gonna go down Newbury Street, do a little shopping. I'd like to get some walking in, some shopping in, and then I'm gonna be going out tonight for a really lovely dinner and drinks at the Quinn, which is a members club here. So I don't think I can film that, but let's go take a look and see festive Newbury Street at Christmas. And then I came back to the hotel just to get a little rest and do some more video editing. So now I need to transform. Now I'm going to dinner at the Quinn, which is a members club in Boston. So I'm not even gonna bother filming anything there because usually the rule at members clubs is no filming. But what's cool about it is it also has a reciprocal with the Arts Club in London, which is very, very posh in London. So that's quite fun. I'm not a member of the Arts Club, but I guess if I wanted to be, then I could also come to the Quinn when I'm in Boston. So maybe that will sway me. But yeah, off to dinner we go. So the next morning I woke up to snow in Boston. It was a beautiful winter wonderland in the making, and I was very nostalgic for my old days living in Boston, braving the snow. So I put on all of my snow gear and I went on over to Dunkin' to get myself a coffee and a breakfast sandwich, and I took it back to the Citizen M just to do what I did yesterday, get a little work done in their dreamy lobby. And then later that day, I did also sneak in a cheeky coffee with a friend. I went out for a beautiful walk along the Com Ave Mall, or Commonwealth Avenue, we call it Com Ave as the locals. And the Com Ave Mall stretches all the way down from Mass Ave all the way to the public garden. And it is like, it's kind of like a divided highway. And in the middle, you have this beautiful pedestrian-only walking path, and it's extra special in the winter because it's lit up with the trees, and I just loved taking in the snow. It actually was the night of the winter solstice, which felt extra special. Then I made a pit stop at Tate on Boylston Street for a much needed latte, which was massive, and one of the small tomato soups that they have just to warm up a little bit. I was totally covered in snow at the end of my walk. Then warmed up, I continued on to walk towards, I had a drinks meeting with a friend, and then I had dinner. So I first walked through the Boston Public Garden. Everything, it was like that thick, wet snow, which is just so beautiful and fairy tale-like. I just love seeing Boston like this. It felt really Christmassy and really lovely, and it reminded me of my old days in Boston where you just put on all your snow gear, you walk everywhere, and you're still determined to live city life. So that was pretty much what I did, but it just made it special. So now I'm actually in the Boston Common, and I did sneak a little peek at the Boston Common Christmas tree, which we'll get up to a little closer later in this video. I also passed through Faneuil Hall with the Christmas tree all adorned by the snow. And then I made my way through Faneuil Hall. My final destination was going to be the North End. But as you can see here, Faneuil Hall is also beautifully lit for Christmas. And then my final destination was a restaurant I have never tried before called The Daily Catch, which is a Sicilian-style seafood restaurant. So we started with calamari meatballs. I was really skeptical, but apparently they're a really well-known dish there, according to my friend who knows the restaurant. They were outstanding. Why not give it a try? And my friend had I think it was more of like a cacio e pepe, or no, fettuccine alfredo squid ink pasta. And then I also had a fettuccine alfredo pasta. I added shrimp to it, but honestly, 4 shrimps for $8 extra is like, I mean, seriously, it's a little bit much, no? In terms of the pricing. We also had some garlic bread, which I would just say was average. I think I'm a bit spoiled coming from Italian heritage. My mom just makes the best garlic bread. So then the next morning, we also woke up to Boston being lovely and snowy. Everything had kind of settled a bit. No melting here because the temperatures were still really cold, but you can just see here a little bit of the area around the hotel, which is in a state of development right now. So next time I come back and stay in this area, there'll be new shops and restaurants all in this area, which is great to see development in Boston. I went back again to Trident to see a friend for breakfast, had another overpriced like $6 cappuccino, which wasn't that good again. And then this time I had 2 scrambled eggs with toast. Just wanted to keep it a little simple after last night's very big dinner. I wasn't really that hungry, but simple pleasures at Trident. Then I went back to the hotel for a bit just to check out of the room and just kind of do a little work while I waited for my time to take the train to see my family for Christmas. And I have to say, because of the snow, the train was just magical. I'm just not used to snow living in London now, so it was really an extra treat. And the fact that it didn't impact any of the travel was such a bonus. So I got to enjoy all the good benefits of the snow and it being beautiful without any of the negative consequences of the snow, like cancellations, etc., etc. So that was really wonderful, and I had a great Christmas with my family, which I'm not filming for YouTube. But then I arrived back in Boston a little after Christmas, and next we're gonna transition to me checking in to the Charlesmark Hotel in the Back Bay. Greetings again from Boston, Massachusetts, my old home. I have just checked into the Charlesmark Hotel. So I will be doing a separate hotel room review video of the Charlesmark Hotel. I actually, fun fact, have stayed there quite a few times, and somewhere floating around on SD cards somewhere in my house are those hotel reviews, which may or may not see the light of day at some point. But yeah, so stay tuned for that and make sure you're subscribed if you want to see the room tour, the room review. It's a great boutique hotel on Boylston Street in the Back Bay. The rooms are also on the small side, but it's a great location, and I'll cover all of that and more in the review. So after I checked into the hotel, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to head to Beacon Hill. So I walked down Comm Ave, took in some of the beautiful homes decorated for Christmas, and I made my way to the entrance of the Boston Public Garden, which is a very historic part of town. It's my favorite park in Boston. The two big parks in Boston are right next to each other, the Boston Public Garden and the Boston Common. I think the Boston Public Garden is a little more charming, and there's some really wonderful things to see in the park. You're seeing it now in the snow, which adds a certain specialness. It's Boston in the winter. If you do visit Boston in the winter, just bring your layers, bring your snow boots. It's cold, it's snowy, but it has a certain charm to it. And if you go to the left side of the park when you walk in, that's the way you walk towards Charles Street and the entrance of Beacon Hill, and also the famous historic Cheers, if that's something you want to do. So on the lake in the public garden, there is some unauthorized ice skating that was happening. There are signs about ice skating at your own risk. If you want to ice skate somewhere safe, you would go to the Frog Pond in the Common, which is something you pay for, and it's a ice skating rink that's safer. This is on top of water, skate at your own risk. I also stopped to see the famous Make Way for Ducklings statues. There's even children's books written about these. They were all decorated in Boston Bruins gear and festive Christmassy gear, and I was actually quite lucky to get a little video footage of them without any children climbing over them, so I took my opportunity. Then I crossed over to Charles Street. We were planning to go to Figs, which is a Todd English kind of pizzeria place, but my friend was gonna meet me in about 30 minutes, so I took the opportunity to do a festive stroll through some of the hilly streets of Beacon Hill, which is really one of my favorite things to do around Christmas. Now, to be fair, I wasn't wearing my snow boots, which, I mean, I should have known better. It was a little slippery, but I still managed to see some really beautiful homes. And I just recommend going up and down, weaving some of the hills, because you'll see kind of beautiful wreaths, beautiful garlands. The homes really take more of this kind of rustic Christmas style with kind of all of the kind of Christmas tree-esque alpine style branches. I really love how the neighborhood celebrates its kind of historic heritage at Christmas. And I just find it really fun to walk around, see, you know, people do invest a good amount of money who live there in kind of decorating their doors, their planters, their window boxes, and I just love to see how everyone interprets the Christmas holiday. So that was so much fun. And then we ended up, when I made my way, oh, that was my favorite door, by the way. Loved that one, so pretty. Then we made our way back to Charles Street. We wanted to go to Figs, but unfortunately Figs was like closed before dinner. So we went to the Paramount next door, which serves brunch until like 4 or 4:30 p.m. You can see on their website. So my friend decided to go for brunch. He got like an egg and cheese sandwich and like some sort of s'moresy French toast thing. I had a pesto chicken sandwich with like spicy aioli, which was outstanding. Then we were stuffed to the gills. This is the Frog Pond here I was mentioning earlier. This is an established ice skating rink. It's not on like a lake. This is somewhere if you want to ice skate safely, you can. Obviously, if you want to take your risk with the other lake in the public garden, you can as well. It's also quite iconic to go ice skating on Frog Pond in Boston during Christmas. And as you can see, all of the trees around it have all these different colorful lights. So it's really, really festive, and they play music. And I just love seeing kind of the State House all illuminated with all the Christmas lights. And this is the Boston Common Christmas tree. yeah, it's really beautiful and colorful and just really nice. So we really enjoyed our festive stroll. I usually don't recommend going in the parks like so late at night, but I think this was only like 5:30, 6 p.m. at this point. And then we went back to Faneuil Hall, which I had seen the other day in the snowstorm, just to have like another look at some of the Christmas festivities, and to be honest, so I could go to Sephora and Faneuil Hall to spend some of my Christmas gift cards, as you do. And then once I did my shopping, which I didn't film, if you do want to know what I bought, let me know. Maybe I'll film a separate video on that. Then I made my way back through the Boston Public Garden to the Charlesmark, taking in people still ice skating on the lake there, even though it had warmed up considerably. And then all of the trees in the public garden were also lit up, which was just, you know, so lovely. You know, I always think of Boston as a really nice festive place to come at Christmas. It's definitely not as festive as London where I live, but I think I'm very spoiled where London just is like next level. But I think Boston does a really good job with its Christmas lights, and because it's such a walkable city, it really encourages you to pile on the layers, get out, be active, which is really great during the festive period when you've eaten too much food. Hey everyone, it is the next day. It's about 11:15 right now. Who is this girl? Checkout's at noon and I am not rushing till the last second. All packed up. I also went downstairs this morning and I actually even brought my computer to have like a nice leisurely breakfast downstairs in like the restaurant area. I did on one of the previous visits go to the restaurant itself. This time I actually just packed some protein bars and I'm trying to free up suitcase space. So I had a protein bar, a croissant, I mean, balance, right? And the croissant and the coffee is free. And there was also pain au chocolat. And I even heard one of the guys coming in asking, I think anything in the pastry case by the bar is also included. So they also had like some sort of, I think, apple turnover. Someone was asking if they had any more of the good donuts, so I don't know. I went down there at 9, a little too late for the donuts, but didn't need that temptation. So after I checked out of the Charlesmark Hotel, I made my way once again through the Boston Public Garden. If you come to visit Boston, you'll realize Boston is very small and walkable. So if you stay in the Back Bay, but you want to head to other parts of the city, you will kind of cut through the Boston Public Garden and the Common a lot. Then I crossed over to the Common. My mission today was to go visit some friends at Hub House, an apartment building next to the TD Garden. They're just living there temporarily. These are the views from the Hub House. Oh my gosh, you can see so much of the city of Boston. And it was really fun. It was like a 40-minute walk to walk over there. And wow, the views are just spectacular. So that was really fun for me as a longtime Bostonian just to experience that. Then after I left them, I went for a solo meal at Momo-san there's like a food court next to the TD Garden. Oh my gosh, the food here is amazing. I've been before. The spicy wontons, I was dreaming of having them again. They did not disappoint. I just thoroughly love them. And then I also had a sushi roll. I had just a simple salmon avocado roll, and it was like the perfect fuel I needed before I went back to the hotel to then check into my next one. Hey everyone, so I have just checked in to the Hilton at Logan Airport, and I will give you a quick spin around the room, but since I've already done at least one, if not more, hotel room reviews on this hotel, I will leave them linked down below if you want to see all the good tea, but I want to just give you a really quick tour before we wrap up the video. So I am in room number 935, and I'm right near the elevator, which is what I asked for, which is amazing. If you don't ask, you don't get. Got just the classic king-size bedroom. I mean, all of these rooms pretty much look the same, although I think the last time I stayed here, I had a slightly newer room because they had like an espresso machine here instead of the Cuisinart coffee machine. But I think that's the only thing different that I noticed. Now let's see, do I have any sort of view over here? Oh, hello. We've got like a Mass Pike kind of situation view. We see the airport over there. Da, da, da. That's, well, you can't see with all the lights on, but that is heading in to Boston. And then on the other side of the room, we've just got the flat screen TV. The room comes with 2 waters, which is lovely. And then let's go check out the bathroom. Dun, dun, dun. I do love the makeup mirrors in here. Not that I really ever have time to do much makeup before rolling down to the airport at 5:30 a.m. But yes, hello. We've got the toilet, we've got the shower, and they use the Crabtree and Evelyn products, which I do quite like. I do quite like the lotion that they have. And then yeah, this is just the little sink area. So my stay in Boston was another great one. I caught up with so many friends on this trip. I feel so blessed and grateful to have seen so many wonderful people, and I've had a lot of great meals. And just getting to see the city in the snow was so magical. So if you liked this video, please hit that like button. That really helps me know what kind of videos you like, and leave a comment down below. Have you been to Boston? What did you see? What do you like doing there? If you're a local, let me know some of your favorite spots. And definitely I'll leave my Boston guide linked down below, which is free on my blog, The Savvy Bostonian. So if you're a local or a tourist and you want some good ideas on places to check out, do that. And last but certainly not least, please consider subscribing to my channel. I create travel and lifestyle video content on YouTube. If you want to get a flavor, you can click on the video tab on my channel and check it out, but would love to have you subscribe and join me on this wonderful YouTube journey. So now I am gonna go get into my PJs, do a little repacking, off to sleep, and tomorrow we are going back to London. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you soon.